I'm live. All right, bet. Appreciate you. Yo, yo, what's good, everybody? Let me get adjusted here for the live stream. Let's wait for some more people to join here before starting a breakdown. What's up, Naveen? What's up, Dan? What's up, God's Power? Omar Raji. You guys are ready for today's session? You're grateful? I'm grateful for you guys, man. I'm grateful for you guys joining. It means a lot to me. What's up, Kidas? What's up, Andrelic? Welcome, welcome, everybody. What's up, Teffy? Let's get it rolling. You guys see the vibe? Crazy vibe. Crazy vibe. Vibing in the villa. What's up, Shut Up? What's up, Mo? Marvin and Fakes. Welcome, everybody, man. I hope the quality is good, guys. Can you guys hear me well? See me well? Very important. Change quality here. So, yeah, guys, as you guys can see from the background, I'm currently in Brazil. I'm enjoying my time, bro, with our Horizon Trading Retreat, which was and is a great project, guys. If you didn't make it here, you are missing out. But we will very likely be hosting another retreat next year, so I hope to find some of you guys over there. I do remember you, Crystal Path, of course. Can you hear me? Awesome. What's good, Anish? What's up, freelance? Is good quality? W. All right, guys. So, how many people are watching? Yeah, I mean, maybe we can wait another 2 minutes before I start breaking down gold because gold is looking juicy once more. Gold is looking juicy. But how have you been, guys? How did your trading go yesterday? Somebody made some profits, somebody made some losses, which are part of the process. Like, drop a one in the comment if you took a trade yesterday. Let's say like that. Drop a one in the comments if you took a trade yesterday. Bro, the Brazilian shawties, I don't really care about because I got my shawty at home. I don't look at them. Drinking water, that's great. Water is very important, guys, to stay hydrated. Yesterday, minus 5R, bro, that's hard. That's hard. You have to reflect why that happened, bro. And whatever the reason was, don't repeat it. We see them once, W. I think there was some good setups yesterday for buys on gold for sure. I just wasn't really actively trading because I was, focused on on this villa here. All right, we got 15 people. That's definitely enough for me to start a breakdown. I took in GU, but ended up lost after moving in my position yesterday. Man, that's part of the game. Absolutely part of the game. What's up, Ahmed? Welcome to the stream. Water tastes like wine when you're on profits. Oh, it does. It does. You can make a delicious drink out of water. All right, guys, let's share some screens here. Oh, we back at that one. I don't want that layout. I want my dark layout. Damn, what is going on here? Why is it so weird? Why is this so weird? Is that the one? Let's go to the 30-minute. All right, everybody can see my screen. Go by, but I got subbed out. Man, we still have like New York session is about to open in what like what time is it now? 2 p.m., 3 p.m. in 1.5 hours, guys. So there's still a lot of possibilities. Like, don't go crazy just because you're missing out right now. So looking at gold, we are obviously let's start on the high time frames because that's how I like to do it, right? A top down analysis. Start off on the weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, and then look for entries on the 5 minute, 15 minute. So we start off on the weekly, and we see once again super bullish, right? Started it with another bullish candle. At this point, gold is literally unstoppable. It's just like flying, 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 skyrocketing, skyrocketing. Every person that tries to sell in one of these weekly candles gets clapped again and again and again. So you don't really want to look at sales if the market is not really showing sales. Sup, Gift Collins? Sup, Juan? These days, New York sessions are worse than Asian. Yeah, you would say that. I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I agree. I really like how it's moving right now. But yeah, weekly bullish. Let's go to the daily here. So the daily very, very nicely already came down, created a lower wick. So that's actually what we want to see at the beginning of the session. Ideally, during Asia session, want to see a pullback and then an extension. Now we are currently at new highs. Basically, previous candle closed strongly bullish, breaking out of this minor consolidation here as well. So it does look like we are. Did we already hit 4,000? Yeah, I believe that today we will hit 4,000 for sure, ski. I also believe that at 4,000 we do have a lot of orders resting. So if you guys are in buys, you kind of want to make sure that once it hits 4,000, you either go break even or start trailing your stop loss. Because I can almost guarantee you that at the flat 4,000 or maybe even a little lower, so like 3,099, we will see some reaction. So we'll tap into here, boom, and then we will either see a straight breakthrough and then a meltdown, or we will see a tap into an immediately reversal and then a meltdown. Those are like a few possibilities that could happen because in this area it's like a flat number, right? So a lot of big banks and hedge funds and everybody, they like to work with like um round numbers. So 4,000 is a clean round number. So over here we have a lot of sell limits, a lot of buy limits, a lot of stop losses, and a lot of take profits in this entire area. So once it reaches that area, we're gonna see some firework action. Best believe. I do believe we might hit 4,000 today, which is absolutely crazy because that's literally history. We are seeing live history right now. What's up, Coco? What's up, my boy? How many minutes will this session last? You mean the live stream, or what do you mean? The live stream goes for an hour. What's up, shout out? I'm amazing. How are you, bro? How are you? All right, let's continue. Got daily bullish. All right, 4 hour. Let's see. Oh yeah, the 4 hour opened up with no bottom wick, so we could kind of see the 4 hour create a lower wick and then expanding back up and breaking out the highs. That's very, very possible. So let's see. We can mark off the 4 hour here. With some car. Aaron ruft an. And we got a 4 hour down here. So now we are in like this 4 hour range, which is pretty nice. So let's see if we can go down into the lower time frames, the 1 hour, and see. Got a nice 1 hour range over here, the 1 hour. This support range over here. And then another 1 hour high up here, right? So now we're basically more or less like in between two ranges, which at this point I kind of want to see price come back down into 39.58 for me to take buys, or break and retest above 39.72 for me to take buys here as well. We need more time with you, Evan. You guys are so sweet. You guys are so cute. But low key, we might make it work. We might make it work for me to stream at least like two times per week. I think that would be awesome. Mate, do you think gold is going to get to 4,000? Yes, I do believe so, and we might hit it today. We might actually hit it today. It's not guaranteed, but I do believe so. But yeah, no one knows where the market will go. Yeah, it's exactly what I'm saying. It's all probability. But sooner or later, gold keeps rising every time. So sooner or later, gold will hit 4,000. Now the question is when. It's not if, it's when. I'm looking for sales though. Buys may come. Bro, sales, honestly, I believe, me personally, I believe that sales is a little bit aggressive because now you could have capitalized on these short term sales or on these sales over here. But if you're looking at the bigger picture, bro, the big impulses are always with the buys. You see a big impulse to the upside in a short period of sales. See another big impulse of buys, a short period of sales. So overall, you could definitely hold your trade way, way longer if you're just taking longs instead of trying to short in a bullish market. You can capitalize, but it's a little lower probability because you're not trading with the trend, you're trading against the trend, you know? Do I have a YouTube? I do. Yes, I do. It's I think it's just Evan Sean and you will find me. I buy it to hold, holding it 300 pips. Bro, that's awesome. You can literally at this point you can just like buy in gold and just hold it because it will continue rising long term. Like gold is also a great long term investment. Sup Nelson, welcome to the stream. Goldman Sachs forecasted 4,900 by end of December. Could be. Could be possible, man. You got a sell signal on gold, really? That's crazy, bro. Did I take any trade? No, I've not traded since I've been here because I'm mainly focusing on, being the host of this entire retreat here in Brazil. So I'm kind of taking care of my guests a lot, organizing a lot. We're doing a lot of activities that I'm working on, a lot of presentations and coaching. So I didn't really have any time to trade this week. But it's all good. We'll be back at the charts, I think, in 2 days. Tomorrow I'm traveling back to Germany. That dude that sold his stop loss paid me. Bro, that's how it goes. That's how it goes in the markets. That's crazy. How far do you think gold will go till the year is over? The question is, do we really care? Because that's not a thing that we should be focusing on, I believe, unless you are like swinging gold or long term investing on gold. But if you're just day trading gold, you don't really care. What you do want to care about is how the weekly candle looks, how the daily candle looks, and then how you can profit from every move every day. Because I believe that most of us are day traders, you know? Every pullback is opportunity to buy it. Exactly. That's how it works. Do I trade Forex? No, I don't. I used to. I used to trade Euro, USD, GBP USD, and GBP JPY, but that more at the beginning stage of my trading journey. But I noticed very quick that for me personally, just talking out of my personal experience, it was a little too slow for me. Forex is just a little bit too slow. So I was looking for a balance. And now if you go all the way to indices like US 30, NAS 100, SPX, or S&P 500, bro, they're very, very fast. So they were a little too fast for me. So that's when I decided to go with the median, which in this case is gold, because gold is something between GBP, JPY, and US 30. It's just perfect for me. Do I miss Germany? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, bro. I could stay here, I think, like another year or so. It's so, guys, like you have to come to Brazil. It's so beautiful. The people are so nice. They kind of look at you like you're an alien because they're not used to tourists here, but still, they're nice. Yeah, you won't see my face until next week. That's true, though. Is this firm allowing Indian traders? I do believe so. Andre, do you guys allow Indian traders? I think so. How to participate to 10K account challenge? You will find out very, very soon. But for that, you're gonna have to stick around. Day traders should be focusing on what's happening at the moment. Exactly. That's the key. That's actually the key. I do not trade NAS or US 30 anymore. I used to. Got clapped too many times. And my strategy, like my price action strategy, just wasn't really like the fit for indices. I see the chart is uptrend. Do I need to wait for US session to put a trade for more volume? Yeah, guys. So right now we are still pre-market, right? So the market will be opening in 1 hour and 15 minutes. So once the New York Stock Exchange opens, I believe that we will see a steeper pullback here because that what typically happens is it comes back down to grab some liquidity juice, right? So I could kind of see price coming back down in this range, leave a nice rejection candle where in this case you could be looking to take buys all the way up into these highs and maybe even all-time highs. So the best thing you could do right now is just stay patient, wait for a little bit of a pullback, which we will most likely be getting, and then take some buys. If not, if we don't get a pullback, then the next possible scenario for buys will be a break and retest right above this range. So you want to wait for a 1 hour or 30-minute candle closure above this range, wait for a nice pullback, wait for a nice rejection candle, and then take buys into all-time highs, which in this case you can kind of like, hold it as long as you can and just go like tracing your stop loss, trailing your stop loss. What's up, Ahmad? Which time frames do you prefer when analyzing gold charts and why? I prefer, so at the beginning of the week I start off on the weekly time frame, but once we're already in the middle of the week, I just start on the daily time frame. I want to see how the daily candle close and where the next candle could head for the following day. And then I go to the 4 hour, I place my support and resistance zone on the 4 hour time frame, I place them on the 1 hour time frame, and then I just wait for price to reach one of those zones, wait for an entry confirmation on the 5 minute time frame, and then hop in on the trade. Any setup in gold I can go with. As of right now, there's no setup. Just two possible scenarios here in for my strategy. Pull back in this range, which I believe we will be getting. So you can just put an alarm here and sit on your hands and wait for price to be at a discount. And then you take some juicy buys here, stops below this low, target up into these highs. You got a 3 hour multiple just like that if you stay patient. That's setup number one. Setup number two, get a break and retest above the range, get a nice rejection, put your stop loss below the rejection candle, and then target at least a 2 or 3 hour multiple here. That's the second setup. Anything else and anything other than this, I do not see as of right now, and I would definitely not take sales. In 15-minute candle gold sell signal. Why are you trying to sell so hard? And this candle is not a sell signal, and the other candle has not closed yet. So as long as this 15-minute candle hasn't closed, there's no sell signal whatsoever. What's your go-to strategy when trading gold, scalping, day trading, or swing trading? Um, Kind of like something between scalping and day trading is like my thing. There are a few trades there. Or let me take off this glasses. Oh, it's bright. There are a few trades where I'm in the trade for like, I don't know, like 5 to 10 minutes, and then sometimes like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. But on average, the max I hold a trade is like 2 hours, and then I'm out. Is it US session already? No, not yet. We do still have an hour to go. An hour and 10 minutes. Do we have news today? No, we don't. Actually, I already checked. There's no high impact news on Forex Factory. Not for USD. We do have high impact news on NZD. So if you guys are trading NZD and also on JPY, if that's one of your pairs, then watch out for high impact news. But besides that, there's no news today. So it should be a fairly chill day, honestly, today to trade, like fairly smooth. What indicators or tools do you rely on most when analyzing gold charts? So I'm like I said, I'm a really big fan of price action. And besides that, I like to mark off support and resistance. And the only indicator I personally use is the white line you guys see here. That's the exponential moving average. And the settings are a length of 50. So what it means is that this line, right, is basically showing the price action of the previous 50 days. So the line is like a compound of the last 50 days of price action. And if the line is below price action, then we're bullish. And if it's above like the candles, then we're bearish. And if it's in between, we are consolidating. And I do not want to trade if it's in between. I do not really use supply and demand. What's good, Omar? Welcome to the stream, bro. How do you handle losing trades? Do you cut losses fast or wait for recovery? That's a great question. So, first of all, the most important thing you guys need to realize is that losing is part of the game, right? Losing is inevitable. It will happen to all of us. It happens to the most profitable traders, to the most richest traders. It happens to everybody, to the beginners. So the first thing that you guys need to work on is on rewiring your mindset to come at a state where losses are accepted and you see them as normal. And you actually, what you can also do is like reverse psychology it and start seeing losses as a win, right? So instead of hyping up a win, you can start hyping up a loss, and then you never really care if you're losing. And do I cut losses fast? I mean, I do always have a set stop loss. So if my stop loss gets hit, there is a reason. My stop loss is always placed very smart. So for example, let's go here on the charts. Yeah, we're coming for the pullback, guys. I told you. Patience pays. Um, so in this scenario here, we have a market structure point that goes. We have the breakout leg, and we are waiting for pullback leg, right? Right here. So the last market structure point was down here. So the safest place to place a stop loss would be below this low over here, because if the market starts breaking and closing below this low, we are now having a breakout structure on the 5-minute time frame, which then could turn into price coming all the way back down into my next zone. And then if it comes back down into this zone, I don't really want to be involved in like a big loss here. I want to cut my losses fast. And if it comes to my next zone, then here I can look to re-enter for buys. And this time I will place my stop loss below this week's low here. So you always want to make sure that you place your stop loss in a smart way where if it gets invalidated, your trade, you're fine with it. You don't really want to put your stop loss like random spots. I don't know. Let's say you get in here and you put your stop loss here, and then you target some highs, because if you get stopped out, price could still just come down here, reject, and then continue higher, and that will suck. So I hope that kind of answered your question. What do I think about VWAP? I used to kind of use VWAP. I do believe it works best on indices. So if you're trading indices, VWAP is a good solution. When was your last trade when you broke some trading rules? Bro, I don't know. I don't know, like maybe 4 months ago. I mean, I'm still human. I do break my rules sometimes when I get emotional or greedy. So that's normal. But the most important thing is to not let that loss or that break of rules define you as a trader, but more so you taking charge for yourself. Yeah, VWAP is an indicator. How do you manage your trade? Do you trade a fixed risk to reward, or you trail? Um, I kind of do both. I do like a mix of both, but my typical risk reward ratio is a 3R. I used to just do a 2R for the longest time because my brain was so fixed on a 2R and I would always close because I just couldn't handle more. But in the last year I started to work on that more to, to expand my R multiple. But if I see that, for example, gold is going up and up and up, then yes, I could just trim my stop loss and try to hold it as long as possible until it starts reversing. Because you kind of on gold, you can kind of maximize your wins. It's crazy. Yeah, true. You got to build a tough skin towards losses. Absolutely. Find yourself chasing? No, bro. Look, the most important lesson I learned is to stay patient, and I learned that through like joining mentorships of traders that were patient. So I used to be very impatient. But if every time you come to a live stream, for example, and that trader is sitting on his hands and he's like, yeah, I'm waiting, no setup yet, no setup yet, no setup yet. The more you watch those streams, the more that behavior will reflect on you. So now I'm that guy, right? So when I used to have my live sessions every day on my channel, a lot of students learned my patience, and now they apply that patience on their own trading. So it's like a chain reaction. But key. Patience is key, guys. Especially wait for the session, wait for an entry signal, wait for price to get to your zone, and once it gets there, don't be scared to execute. Can you share one of your most profitable gold trades and what made it successful? Bro, I would have to go a little back here. I don't quite remember, but I could definitely prepare that for the next stream for sure. Because I mean, like most of my trades are good. Like I do get some really, really juicy setups that are like A+ setups. But I definitely have to go back and look at the juiciest one so far. Any chances to short Omar? Look, if you are really kind of feeling like a risk taker here, um, the moment you start closing or we start closing and breaking below 39.57 ish and closing below bearish, then you could take short term sells down to 39.45. If it starts closing below 39.45, you could take short term sells back down to 39.27. But again, counter trend, we're still bullish on all time frames. It's a little bit risky. But wait for the market structure shift here for you to be, for you to take the sells. You want to see a close below 39.56 if you want to take sells. Before that, I would not take any. What's up, Angel? What's up, Aman? What do I use to journal? I use Notion. But the best trading journal, honestly, I believe nowadays is TradeZilla. It's like it's the best overview. But I like to like personally type in everything. Love that background. That background. Yo, that background is a flex. The background is a flex, guys. Check this out. I'm gonna try to show you guys around a little bit. Let's do a little bit of a tour here. Hope the connection lasts. So, you guys see the pool. You guys want to jump in on the pool with me? Let's go. Let's hop in on the pool. Oh, oh, oh. Nah, I'm kidding, guys. You're not gonna get wet. But this is our camera guy, best camera guy ever. He's working 24/7 for us to create content. What else? We have our breakfast area here. We have one of our guests. I hope the connection is good. I don't know. We have breakfast here. We have Flo.
Good morning.
Good morning in the morning. Let's go. You already trading or no?
No.
No, not yet. Yeah, he's still waiting for the session as well. Yeah, New York session, exactly. So yeah, it's an amazing. We're having an amazing time, and we also connected with each other, right? We kind of created like this crazy friendship all together, to a point where we got like matching tattoos yesterday. We actually got matching tattoos, bro. Get my Notion template. Yeah, I can see if I can kind of like send that to you, or maybe send it in the Discord. What's up, Matt? What's up, Luis? What's up, bro? What's up, Burhan? Your problem is over trading. How do I deal with it, bro? I had the same problem. I had the exact same problem. And now, what worked for me was first I had to reach a point in my trading journey where I was so devastated, where I was so disgusted by myself because I kept over trading and breaking my rules, that I just decided for myself that it has to stop. Because if it doesn't stop, look, guys, every time you break your rule, you're taking one step further away from becoming a profitable trader. And every time you follow your rule, you are coming one step closer to becoming a profitable trader. So you have to ask yourself next time when you are about to overtrade, you already know you shouldn't be doing it. And you know the moment you start entering and overtrading, that you're taking steps backwards that you don't actually want to take, because all of us, we want to be profitable, right? We want to make trading work. So in order to do that, we have to accept the fact that we have to obey to our rules, because we don't have them for nothing. So if as of right now you still don't have rules, that's the first thing that you want to make. You want to make sure you know how many trades you can take per day. And if you lose X amount of trades, you have to be able to stop. Bro's living the dream. Yeah, man, we're all living the dream here in the retreat. I hope that I can next year see some of you guys here as well, man. I mean, we're not doing it in Brazil. I think we're going to be doing it in another country, but it's going to be another W villa as well. Which part of Brazil? I'm currently at the. We're in Salvador, so it's like Praia do Forte. It's like the coast. Like we're on the Pacific, no, on the Atlantic coast. Um, but where was I? Yeah, so with over trading, exactly. So you have to have a set amount of rules. So let's say you have two trades per day. Now, once you reach that threshold, you have to be able to stop. And whatever you have to do for you in order to stop, you just do that, bro. Because the moment you start over trading, you're taking steps backwards, and you don't want that, right? And I know it's always easier said than done, but it's literally you have rules and you follow them, and when you follow them you become profitable. Like the way to profitability is actually so easy, but every trader or beginner trader just keeps breaking those rules because they are attached to the result, they are attached to the money, they are attached to not letting go of losses and not accepting losses. So those are all like brain wires that you actually need to rewire, because since the beginning when we were children, we learned things and programs and like different ways on thinking. But as a trader you have to actually like build out all of those wires and rewire them in order to become a profitable trader. And that's actually where most of the traders fail, because they're not able to rewire their brain and they're just too stuck on what they've been taught since they were children. I love your life, man, traveling and trading. Yeah, bro. But I'm like I said, I'm not actually trading, guys. I'm a host here, so I'm taking care of my guests. I'm making sure everybody's fine. I'm making sure that all the activities can take place. Oh, we got some boys arriving here. They went shopping. Today we have our Horizon Retreat party. So we're gonna be grill. We're gonna be eating some grill food, put on some music, dance a little bit, have a good time, and then conclude this retreat because tomorrow we are heading back to Germany, most of us. How many trades do I take per day? Max two high probability trades. Max two high probability. What's up, Mon? Keras, do I trade crypto? No, I do not. I just don't. I tried trading crypto like with price action, but it's just, I don't know. It's weird. It's not working for me. It's just working on gold. How important is backtesting and developing a solid gold trading strategy? Mm, Honestly, at the beginning I believe that backtesting is very essential because firstly have to see what you're actually doing, right? So if you don't have a strict strategy and you want to test it out, backtesting is amazing. But if I had to rank backtesting and live testing, I would put live testing all the way to the top, because backtesting is like, yeah, okay, in hindsight, I think I would have gotten in a trade here, let's see how it goes. Oh, it would have been a loss, okay, yeah, nah, then I wouldn't have gotten in on that trade. But live or forward testing is you are in the market itself and you can document your live reactions and how you feel and your live management of the trade, and you will learn way more through that instead of just back testing. Losses are difficult to stomach, always hits harder than TP. Look, Crystal Path, if the losses are hard for you to stomach, then you should definitely start on or try to minimize your risk. Minimize your risk to a point where you really don't care at all if you lose that trade. And then once you are at that sweet spot number, try to scale that, try to adjust your brain every day to a little more loss, a little more loss. And sooner or later you will get to a point where you really don't care if you lose $100, $1,000. But first you got to start at your threshold. And if your threshold is 10 cents, if at 10 cents you don't feel anything, start there, start increasing. How do you feel about losing 50 cents? How do you feel about losing $1, $10, $100, right? And then you start scaling from there. But don't try to jump it, because if you try to jump it, your psychology is definitely going to suffer under it, and that will and hence like forward you to breaking your rules and over trading and over leveraging and stuff like that. How much percentage do you recommend we risk per trade on the challenge and funded? I mean, this ultimately comes up to you, but I would definitely not risk more than 1%. I would definitely not risk more than 1%. So you could do a 0.25, 0.5, max 1%, maybe max, yeah, right? Max 1.5. But other than that, I wouldn't really go over. Do you think demo trading helps beginners prepare for the real market? Yeah, I do believe so. I think that if you're new to trading, you should definitely start with demo. But at the end of the day, demo is another type of emotion that you feel compared to real funds. So what I always recommend to my students is start with demo, test out a strategy, see how you get in on buys and sells, how you manage your stop loss, NTP, yada yada. And then from there, you can open a real funds account with like $100, like real $100, and start trading that. You risk $1 to make $2. So you get a feel of real funds, and then you can buy a challenge and start a trade there. You start like with a small challenge, like a 10K, and then you start scaling from there to 25K, 50K, 100K, 200K, and at the same time you start to scale your own personal capital. That's what I recommend, because the moment you start trading with real money or a funded challenge, that's when the real emotions will get into play that are not there if you're just trading demo. And the emotions is what you want to practice. It's not really the strategy you guys want to focus on. It's the mental. So that's also why we have this retreat here, guys. Like, this retreat is not, we're not just sitting here and all live trading the entire time. Like, up until now we haven't even live traded at all. What we are focusing on is on the psychology and the mindset part of trading. And that most of the traders, they don't want to see this. They just want to see the charts, they want to see the numbers, they want to see the profits. They don't want to, you know, spend time on analyzing their own mind. So that's what we're doing here on this retreat, which is, in my mind, is very special and unique. Do you change your stop loss to break even when in profit? Yes, I do trade my stop loss once I'm up more than 1% of the profit or of the trade. Is there a giveaway today? Maybe. If you stick around long enough, you will find out. Bro, I love the questions, man. You guys got me like talking nonstop. How often should traders review and update their trading plans? I would recommend like twice a year. So every half year you can maybe adjust it. How come ThinkCapital can connect to TradingView but other prop firm don't? Well, because ThinkCapital is like connected to Think Markets, and Think Market is an official broker that is registered. So if you have an official broker, you can have access to TradingView. And so Think Capital is basically the baby of Think Markets. And so that's how you can connect your challenge to TradingView, which is pretty dope in my opinion. Average risk to reward is like a 3R. What's up, Pro Trader? What's up, Azim? What's up, Keith? Is the connection good or are we lagging? I don't know if we're lagging. Let me go back to the screen. Let's see what gold is doing here. Oh, are we pushing? Oh, we're pushing back up. W. All right. Mm, how do you stay calm during big gold price swings or reversals? Well, the best way to stay. I'm lagging. Bro, shit. I'm sorry, guys. Let me. I don't know why it's lagging. I mean, it was working, wasn't it? Let's see. I don't know why it's lagging. I mean, it was working, wasn't it? Let me see if I can connect to the Wi-Fi here. Just give me a second. Connect to the Wi-Fi here. Ich bin schon die ganze Zeit mit mobilen Daten verbunden gewesen. Alles macht nicht besser hier. Ich weiß, das ist ganz schlimm. Ja. Aber vielleicht ist es besser für den Stream. Ich weiß. Ähm, All right, are we back in the game or? Is it working? Is it working? Okay, I think it's working now. Is it? Kind of. We back? All right, I think we back. So let's see. How many percent do I risk per trade? That really depends on my trading setup and my trading account. But if it's funded, it's like 1%. It's my if it's my own funds, it's like 5 to 10%. How do you keep your emotions in check when gold becomes highly volatile? So it's basically very simple because when you enter, you have a set stop loss and you have a set take profit. And before entering, you already want to be fine with the result. And now, what we also talked about in the coaching series, the only variable that you can control as a trader is your loss. That's the only thing we can control. That's the only thing that is certain. TP is not certain because we don't know where exactly we will be getting out because I don't know, maybe we have a 2R, but then we try to hold it longer and we get a 3R. So the TP is very uncertain, but the only thing that is certain is your stop loss. So if before getting in on a trade, you are already certain about your loss, the rest is history. You don't really care about the rest. It's still lagging. Yeah, it's not perfect, guys. I'm in Brazil. The quality is not the best of the Wi-Fi, to be honest. What's your first thought when you see gold breaking a major support or resistance? My first thought is okay, there's a lot of volume, right? And now I want to see some type of pullback so I could get in on a buy. Do I prefer trading gold during London or New York? New York for sure. For me personally, it just fits better with my time, and I believe that during New York we have way more volume on gold and like cleaner price action. That's just my personal take. But sometimes from season to season that does change. Last year October, August, September, and October were way better during London than during New York. During New York, it was choppy, and London was moving nicely. So that's also a key for you as a trader to just adjust to market conditions. How big was my longest winning streak? Trade wise, I think it was like 9 trades, and day wise, an entire week. I was on cloud nine. I was on cloud nine, but that was like, do I trade every day? Godson, I love your name. And second of all, I do not because not every day is a trading day. So that's also an important thing that you need to learn as a trader. Oh, my camera is lagging. Not every day is a trading day. If you don't get a setup, you shouldn't be trading. Very soon. I'll let you guys know. What do you do when gold starts ranging and there's no clear direction? Bro, I sit on my hands and I wait for a nice direction. I wait for a breakout to the upside or to the downside. In this case, to the upside, and then I just wait for a pullback. Right now, it's looking very, very good. Let's see. We are approaching resistance at 39.76. The market is opening in 45 minutes, I think. We do have a fair value gap here on the, let's mark off the 30-minute fair value gap right here. And then we have a 1 hour zone down here, like somewhere over here. So if price can kind of come back down for a pullback at 39.63, this will be a nice area to look for buys. If it does not and it just breaks out, You just want to be flexible, maybe take a break and retest setup above these highs. I think that would be nice. Break and retest above these highs here. Do I ever trade gold alongside other metals like silver? No, I personally don't, because I believe that if you can just focus on one pair or one currency and just learn how that moves, that's all you need as a trader. You don't need like X amount of like crazy amount of pairs to trade. Unless, let's say, gold is consolidating but silver is moving nicer, then I would consider to take more trades on silver until gold stops consolidating. When do we stop trading for the year? I would say like the first week of December. One thing wrong with me is I can't wait for my setup. My hand just wants to click buy and sell. Yeah, that's that's crazy, because we just talked about that yesterday on the coachings. That impulse and that feeling of dopamine when going in on a trade, and how you can control that. There are like different ways on how you can learn to control it. But the most important thing you want to focus on is really just being patient. And every time when you see that feeling coming up of wanting to click buy or sell, you have to stop yourself for a second and think, why am I doing this right now? Is this really the best thing I could do right now? Or am I, or if I click right now, am I breaking my rules? And with breaking my rules, I'm taking steps backwards. You don't want to take steps backwards, believe me. What do I do outside the chart? Man, my connection is ass. Oh, bro. All right, I think we're back. Let me go over the questions. I don't know why I always try to chase the move. Yeah, that's FOMO, bro. It's like crazy, all this trader emotions. FOMO has a deep root as well. Why are you FOMOing? Why do you want to chase the market? Are you dependent on the profits that you're making on trading? And if so, how can you stop that dependency on trading? There's different ways, bro. You guys have to start to reflect. It's not just a action that happens. It's not just you clicking or breaking your rules. There is way deeper root to your action, and you have to like trigger that root and try to dissolve the root of you breaking your rules, instead of just saying, yeah, I just clicked on buy and sell and now I lost and man, I'm shit. No, reflect. Why? Oh, we're breaking out. That's beautiful. One trading mistake I'll never repeat again. Risking 100% of my account. Never do that again. So off the chart, yeah, guys. So off the chart, look, I do enjoy a lot working out. I enjoy a lot spending time with my family. I enjoy a lot traveling with my girl. What else? I enjoy a lot. Like I'm an entrepreneur, right? So I work a lot outside of trading. I work on a lot of projects and a lot of businesses. I'm like a business guy. So you'll find me working on businesses basically 24/7. Because I don't like, I think outside of the box. I don't solely rely on trading, but I use trading as a tool in order to get me where I want to go basically, if that makes sense. So yeah, I work a lot, bro. I'm a workaholic, I think. Do you mark support and resistance on the candle bodies? Also, how do you tell when prices change from bullish to bearish, for example? Thank you for your question, Matt. So to I do kind of mark it off on on the bodies, and then I will draw a zone around the wicks. So if I were to draw a resistance range, for example, here, I will do like this, and then I will draw a zone, um, like around here. If that makes sense, because this will include these wicks here as well. So that's how I do it on the high time frames. Yeah, my internet is bad because I'm in Brazil right now, and it's just terrible. I'm very sorry. I don't know why I always find myself sweating despite even getting a clear setup. Steve, try to minimize your risk. Go lower. If your first reaction once you're in a trade is sweating and being nervous, you need to minimize your risk. Does Brazil have the worst internet or what, bro? It does seem like it. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, we got 10 minutes before the stream ends, so let's go ahead and start with the giveaway here. So, in order to enter on the giveaway, guys, you want to make sure to leave a like on the stream. If you don't leave a like on the stream, you're not entered. So, leave a like on the stream, and then let's go ahead and do drop. Wait.